Hi friends, today is 7th of April 2017 and we are going to cover article of The Hindu. In this video we are going to cover an article whose title is Raging Against Insanity. Here the title is Raging Against Insanity. Here the word insanity is related to the abnormal use of nuclear weapons. It is directly related to the use of nuclear weapon that has been recently used by in the domestic warfare. So guys, here subheading is Will a UN treaty to ban atomic weapons be another exercise in futility? And in this subheading, here United Nations organization is involved, and a treaty is going to be signed by fewer countries who are not a nuclear power nation. तो बेसिकली यहाँ पर बोला गया है will a UN treaty to ban atomic weapons be another exercise in futility. तो देखते हैं this article has been written by Garimela Subramaniam and article goes like this. A majority of nations, nuclear have-nots, now negotiating a historic United Nations treaty in New York to ban atomic weapons. And from the very starting word and till here weapons, the author is trying to convey that the nuclear have-nots means those countries which are not having nuclear power. So those countries are going to negotiate on a topic that whether it is ethical to use nuclear weapon on any particular country which didn't have or which didn't perceive yet nuclear weapon, or even not got nuclearized. And after that, here it is written, are demonstrating unprecedented moral leadership on a question that continues to threaten human survival. So in this particular segment, author is trying to convey that is it morally correct to diminish whole humanity in one go. Actually, nuclear weapons are so theoretical, and it is a worst jeopardy to the existence of humans on the planet Earth. If it has been used once to any country or any nation, and if it is ballistic missile, then it will be not stoppable at all in its way. Predictably, the 9 countries that currently possesses these catastrophic arms, as well as others that are part of military blocs that some of them lead, are boycotting the talks that commenced last week. Here it is mentioned that last week some treaty or talk has been scheduled at United Nations, and this is the genuine information that has been given by author regarding that last week talks. After that, even so, the latter means the have-nots, can do little to prevent an agreement whose modest aim is the codification of essential illegality of this last remaining category of weapon of mass destruction. Then here it has been tried to make us aware that there are some have-nots countries in a context of nuclear regime, whichsoever who want, if they want to curb this particular situation, then they are okay and they are eligible to have that curb on usage of nuclear weapons, even if their complete elimination is likely to prove more elusive. Same thing has been substantiated here. After that, focus on humanitarian consequences. Basically, here in forthcoming lines, we are going to get that what are the consequences that any country can bear if nuclear weapon has been used by its counter country or that country itself, or what are the consequences that neighboring countries are going to be faced after usage of that particular nuclear weapon by their neighboring countries. So here it has been written that a major game changer in the decades-long global debate on nuclear disarmament appears to be the greater emphasis being placed on the humanitarian consequences of testing and detonation of nuclear weapons. Then, in this particular segment, author wanted to convey that disarmament, a debate on disarmament and a global change is necessary, is pretty much required to make it overwhelmed. After that, this new focus has rightly shifted attention away from the conventional narrative of protection of national sovereignty and security, one that legitimizes an arms race among nuclear weapon states. Then here, actually, this is a fact that globalization is inversely proportional to the sovereignty of any state. There are ample of examples in which globalization led to the jeopardy of sovereignty. In fact, in case of India, the two fishermen has been killed by a submariner of Italy. So to gain NSG membership, India has released those two submariners. So that is a jeopardy to sovereignty at all. So after that, here it is written that national sovereignty and security is not an legitimate concern, because if you are disarmamizing your arsenal of nuclear weapon, then the counter country is also going to be follow the same procedure. In fact, let us assume that you have X number of nuclear weapon, and your counter country, say your neighboring country, just let us took an example of North Korea and South Korea. For example, North Korea has 12 nuclear missile in its arsenal, and South Korea have 11 nuclear missile in its arsenal. When the disarmament procedure will go on, then it will be in fact that both North Korea and South Korea will just disband their nuclear weapons. So it will not threat to their security, but it will just give an human incentive to those type of steps through which nuclear arsenal is swooping down. So after that, here it is written that one that legitimizes this has been done. After that, the second para, current endeavors towards a comprehensive pact are a result of many building blocks towards a total abolition. Beginning with the 1996 advisory opinion of International Court of Justice, where ruled that use of nuclear weapon had to be compatible with humanitarian law. Then here the International Court of Justice in 1996 has claimed that the use of nuclear weapons should be in tandem with the humanitarian law. This means that there are some humanitarian concerns which should be taken care of while using nuclear weapons. For an instance, if a nuclear fight is on between the army of two countries, then there should be no space or there should be no scope of harming the civilians of both those countries. But this is not possible, because a nuclear weapon has its specific range within which it has to be struck, and within that range not only military officials or military personnel comes, but civilians also come. So it is not easy to get in tandem with humanitarian law vis-a-vis using nuclear weapon. After that, it is written that yet in a split verdict, the judges ruled that it could not pronounce definitively on the legality or otherwise of their use in circumstances of extreme self-defense. Then here it could be say that it is an excuse of self-defense, because THAAD, I think you all are aware with THAAD. THAAD system is basically a defense system against any nuclear missile. So if that third system is executable in any countries, then it is then no one have any reason to have any particular or some guided missile to be installed in their countries. After that, the landmark outcome was seized upon by many governments and groups to lobby the United Nations with innumerable draft convention and resolution in General Assembly calling for complete prohibition. So then, in this particular stance, author just wanted to convey that there are many petitions, many resolutions, many conventions have been put on the table of United Nations General Assembly to just completely prohibit to completely prohibit the use of nuclear arsenal. That is annihilation of use of nuclear arsenal. Notable have been the three conference on humanitarian impact of nuclear weapons. The last one in Vienna drew participation from over 150 nations and the UN. Then here it is a fact, or you can say that a substantiation that on a humanitarian impact nuclear weapons shouldn't be used, and this has led to withdrawal of participation in Vienna by more than 150 nations and even by UN itself. Ever since, the idea that targeting populated areas with nuclear weapons could constitute a violation of humanitarian law has gained traction. So that means if 150 nations are withdrawing from that particular viewpoint, then it means that all of them are indirectly giving legitimacy to the use of nuclear weapons or to have an arsenal of nuclear weapon. So that means that it implies that key violation of humanitarian law will be there if there even a single use of nuclear weapon to any particular country. After that, here it is written that further several resolutions of United Nations General Assembly have affirmed that use of nuclear weapons constitute a crime against humanity. Here the concern is humanitarian loss, and that humanitarian loss is the prime concern of any social thinker regarding the simultaneous use of nuclear weapon or any kind of chemical or biological weapon. Other rationale underpinning current efforts is also the need to address the prevailing anomaly on the road to the prohibition of all types of weapons of mass destruction. The task began with the ban of biological arms in 1975. Here the biological arms, यहाँ पे इसकी बात की जा रही है, and in this particular line it is a fact, means it is quite important from GK perspective that in 1975 biological arm has been banned. After that, written that chemical weapons, anti-personnel landmines and cluster munitions have been outlawed in more recent years. This is an optimistic statement which can lead to surmise that nuclear weapon can be managed to curb. We can manage it to curb. So that is an optimistic statement, as even chemical weapons or anti-personnel landmines or biological arms have been put to an hold. After that, it is written that the next round of the UN talks, scheduled in late June, will grapple with practical issues of defining the scope and reach of the treaty, as well as the number of ratifications required for its entry into force. What is certain, however, is that once the pact became law, the growing stigma attached to nuclear weapons, as well as to states that flex their military muscles, will only further deepen. Then here it is, the author just wanted to convey that if it becomes a law, if the pact that has been put on the table of United Nations, if it becomes law, then there will be a stimulation to just not only curb the nuclear weapon or chemical weapon uses, but also to minimize the arsenal of that of nuclear weapon, and it will become illegal for all United Nations members to have that particular arsenal of nuclear weapon, or to use, or to even boast about that particular nation, or to give just threat, or to just blackmail any non-nuclear state or have not states to just overcome, to have the fear in it, to produce a fear in the mind of that have nots, to just I mean to say that to just overcome the fear politically and just got benefit from that particular fear or something of that stuff. So this article, here the article is completed, and I hope you enjoy the article a lot. And please, if you have any queries, do contact me. Please write your mail, write your queries to a mail, or just message me on the number that is flashing on your screen. So I hope you enjoyed a lot. Have a good day, have a nice day, have a great day ahead. Thank you very much.